Okay, so choosing a new home, it's one of the biggest decisions you can make, right? But what if you're not just buying a house? What if you're buying an entire prepackaged lifestyle? Well, that's the whole promise of master plan communities. So today, we're going to dissect one of them, Timnath Ranch in Colorado, to really get what the promise is, what the price is, and how you can figure out if it's actually the right move for you. All right, let's get into it. Right off the bat, the source material just hits you with this idea. It's not about a simple house in a quiet spot. It's about buying into a neighborhood lifestyle. And that phrase, that's everything. It's a signal that you're getting so much more than just a place to sleep. You're literally opting into a social and recreational world that's already built for you. But what is that lifestyle really? I mean, what are you actually getting for your money? And, maybe more to the point, what's it going to cost you? Not just in dollars, but in other ways, the less obvious trade-offs. That's the big question we're going to break down right now. All right, first up, let's talk about the promise. What's the big appeal? What are these communities offering that gets so many people excited? Let's unpack what you actually get. A huge piece of the puzzle here is just pure convenience. I mean, think about it. These places are often built in just the right spot for easy highway access, for your commute, and they're usually right next to all the shopping and restaurants you could want. The whole thing is basically engineered to make your daily life easier. And we're not talking about just one type of house here. This isn't some development with rows and rows of identical cookie-cutter homes. A place like this has a bunch of different builders, and what that does is it creates a way more interesting look, with different styles, different sizes, and these modern, flexible floor plans that are designed for how we actually live our lives today. But here's the real kicker, the heart of the whole promise. The entire community is designed to get you out of your house and talking to people. It's all built around the idea of walkability, with trails that connect everything and common spaces meant for people to gather. The whole idea is that you'll run into your neighbors at the park, not just when you're grabbing the mail from the mailbox. All right, that all sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? But you knew this was coming. That lifestyle isn't free. So let's flip the coin and talk about the price. And I don't just mean the price of the house. We need to dig into the financial structures that make this whole thing tick. First up, the one most of us know, the HOA, or Homeowners Association. At its most basic, it's the group that manages all the shared spaces and makes sure the whole neighborhood has a consistent, clean look by making and enforcing a set of rules. So, think of the HOA as a straightforward deal, a trade-off. On your end, you pay your monthly fees, and you agree to follow the rules, things like what color you can paint your house or how you landscape your yard. And in return, you get access to a professionally maintained clubhouse, a swimming pool, those beautiful trails, and even organized community events. It's a really clear exchange. You get awesome amenities, but you give up a little bit of personal freedom. Okay, now for the part of the puzzle that's a little less known, but is super, super important, the Metro District. The easiest way to think about this is like a special tax district that's created just to pay for the really big stuff. We're talking brand new roads, water systems, and the major amenities that a community needs to even exist in the first place. So the Metro District deal is pretty similar to the HOA, just on a much bigger scale. It's what pays for all that long-term infrastructure and those huge community features. And the cost to you? It comes in the form of higher property taxes, which of course means a higher monthly payment. Essentially, the developer pays for all the big stuff up front, and then the homeowners pay that back over many, many years. You're basically paying a premium for a top-notch, curated community right from day one. So, we've got the promise, and we've got the price. Now, the big question. How do you put it all together and figure out if this is the right fit for you? Let's solve the buyer's equation. And this, right here, is the absolute core of the decision. This is the trade-off. You're making a conscious choice to pay more every single month through those HOA fees and Metro District taxes. And what you get in return are those lifestyle perks, a neighborhood that stays looking great, and a home that's easier to sell down the road because the next buyer knows exactly what they're getting into. So who is this for? Who is the perfect fit for this kind of setup? Well, it seems like it's a really strong match for a few specific kinds of people. If you're someone who will actually use the pool and the trails, or if you're moving from out of state and just want a predictable, ready-to-go community, this is for you. If you're a family that loves neighborhood get-togethers and events, this model is practically built for you. The absolute key, though, is being comfortable with the financial side of it all. All right, let's bring it all home. We've taken apart the engine. Now let's build a simple framework you can use to make your own final call on this. Honestly, it boils down to just 3 steps. Super simple. First, you have to be brutally honest with yourself about what you really want. Do you actually want a community pool, or do you just like the idea of one? Second, you gotta do the math. Compare the total monthly cost of a place like this with one that has a lower HOA, or maybe no metro district at all. And finally, you make your decision based on how you really live your life. Which one of these options truly fits you, day in and day out? And that, my friends, leaves us with the big one, the question that really matters. Because at the end of the day, understanding the anatomy of a neighborhood is all about figuring out what you're really shopping for. Are you just buying a building with 4 walls and a roof? Or are you investing in a pre-built community and a very specific way of life? The right answer? Well, that depends completely on you.
No go new builds, new homes, real inside.